If I go in, I better either pass out from how amazing the food is and just get the chicken sweats, or like a beaming light should just come on down when I'm eating their chicken sandwich.
Welcome to episode, I believe 32 now. It's either 31, 32, or 33. I think we're at 32 of Not Exactly Experts. I'm Fur with Jarrett and Rusty, back for another episode. We're going to talk some fast food. So we put a poll out beforehand this time to get kind of your guys' opinions, what you think on fast food. So we're going to talk about fast food. But before we get into that, we've been pumping like social media huge. So thank you everyone who has subscribed, who's added us, who's liked us, like super appreciative of that. And kudos, Rusty, you've been like pushing our social media page a lot. So hopefully everyone's been enjoying like a newer, more fresh presence on social media.
Well, should we talk about the poll? Should we start with the poll?
Let's start with the poll. Yeah.
I think we should.
So we reached out to everyone on Facebook and wanted to know, what is your favorite fast food restaurant of all time? And there was a pretty wide array of responses.
Yeah. So we had 15 people that commented, I believe. So I'm just going to roll through them since we didn't have too many. So Jordan Sharp, In-N-Out, Dusty Quinzer, Chick-fil-A, Mark Brown, Five Guys, followed by Chick-fil-A.
Wow.
Denny is saying Taco John's, Brandon Linden, Jimmy John's, which Big John definitely disagreed with. He let everybody know that Jimmy John's was disgusting. Big John, out of nowhere, goes with A&W, which I do like.
Sleeper. Yeah, it is good. A&W has great milkshakes.
And Carla, big fan out there, said Freddy's. So like you said, a wide array. I think, obviously, you probably heard Chick-fil-A the most out of that, which kind of surprises me because a lot of these people probably don't even live near Chick-fil-A. But it's pretty popular.
It is popular. By the way, so we're going to talk to, each of us have brought our favorite to the episode that we're going to go around the horn. So I don't know if I want to get into Chick-fil-A quite yet in case that is brought up.
I'll give you my thoughts on that.
Let's get to you. Why don't we just start? Run
you know what?
Tell me how you feel.
You get 5 minutes.
Okay, so I was very surprised to find out everyone's favorite restaurant is Chick-fil-A. Now, I have heard my whole life, you got to go Chick-fil-A. Best chicken in town. You got to go. You got to go. And then obviously you heard it on the podcast. You just heard it now, the votes. Oh, Chick-fil-A. You got to go Chick-fil-A. So me as a small town boy have never been to a Chick-fil-A. I mean, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you the nearest Chick-fil-A in Atwood. Finally move out here. Finally move out to northeast Kansas, and I finally had my first Chick-fil-A, and I was like, it's okay. I mean, I don't get the hype. I never got the hype for Chick-fil-A.
There's a couple things. One of it's a customer service. I think above everything, if it's not the food, they take care of their freaking people, and they make you feel like you want to go back. So I think that's a big part of it.
Been through their drive-through? Like, awesome. Whoever set up their drive-through should like try and run something much bigger and more important, because it is one of the most efficient and quick things I've ever seen in my life. And you should see it now, like with the whole COVID and everything, because obviously drive-through is the only thing they do. I mean, they are shipping people through there faster than Chewbacca hitting light speed. I don't know.
Chewbacca hit light speed. I love it.
A Millennium Falcon.
Yeah,
they are people though, because they're bringing people out there to take orders. Like, even if you're not up to the spot with the speaker, like they're getting everybody's orders in quick, so you get through there fast. The people that work there, I don't know if they just train the heck out of them to always smile. Like, everybody's always freaking friendly.
That's true, and you don't. And I haven't been to a Chick-fil-A that has had bad customer service.
So who is your number one then?
You know what? And that's the thing, is I have an absolute gutter palate. I could eat anything. I could eat the same thing day in and day out. I'll say Subway. I love Subway. And I
Eat
used to work
fresh.
at Subway. Yeah.
Subway?
Subway. That's like I said, man. I could eat the same thing over and over again, and it's a gut instinct, and so it's just like, what do I like? And I went Subway, and it
What
was
do
the
you
first
get?
thing that popped in my head. It was just like, oh, I like Subway. I like that's kind of what
What
came into my head.
what do you get at Subway?
Oh, anything. I mean anything and everything. I like the meatball sub, the chicken teriyaki, the chicken bacon ranch. That's always the go-to. Then the pizza sub. There's obviously you can just
Wow.
have plain old turkey.
What kind of bread?
I like the flatbread. I like the rolls. The flatbread that they have that they make into wraps. The cheese, the cheddar bread. I forgot that Italian herbs and cheese. Italian herbs and cheese. That's my favorite bread. The
So-
things I say on this podcast are controversial. I think Chick-fil-A is overrated, and I love going to Subway. That's my favorite
Subway's
fast
underrated.
food
You
meal.
work at Chick-fil-A, you get every Sunday off. How can that be overrated?
I don't work at Chick-fil-A. I get
They're
weekends
so
off
nice.
anyway, so
Have
where I
you
work.
have you not
Yes.
ever had their Chick-fil-A sauce? It could be its own food group.
Once again, it's just that's the thing. It's just people are praising Chick-fil-A so much that it's just like, if I go in, I better either pass out from how amazing the food is and just get the chicken sweats, or like a beaming light should just come on down when I'm eating their chicken sandwich. None of that happens. It's just like, it's good. It's good, but I'm not going to say that it's the most amazing thing that's ever touched my palate.
Hey, can you explain to our listeners what the chicken sweats are?
Please.
Some might not know.
The chicken sweats is when you just go full bore, just eating chicken, and you kind of smell like it and everything, and you start sweating a little bit because you're just eating so much of it, and it just comes out of your pores. That's the chicken sweats.
That sounds
Do you ever
lovely.
get this? Do you ever get the Subway sweats or have this beaming light come down on you?
Nope,
I've
I
never
take
heard
my
of Subway
time.
doing that.
Nope, I take my time.
The only like beaming lights at Subway are the reds and blues coming up to pick Jared to take him to prison.
Here's one huge negative for me for Subway
Okay.
is I hate the smell that you leave with. Like if you go in and get your sandwich, like because they make their bread in
It
the
does have
restaurant,
a
like
unique
you
smell.
stink like yeast and bread the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I hate that part of it.
And I used to work at Subway, and I still to this day would eat Subway. I
You
would
still
would do
smell
it.
like Subway.
I probably do. I probably have the bread sweats now too. I probably have the bread sweats. So
You know what's impressive to me before we move on is the fact that one, you didn't mention their chocolate chip cookies, which are I think maybe
do
one
I
of
have to?
Subway's
Do I really
maybe
have to
one of
mention it?
Subway's highlights.
Yeah.
And two, that you worked there and like it, because I feel like if you work somewhere at a fast food restaurant, because it's so convenient, you eat there a ton. And I think you would be so sick of the food. But maybe
Burnout.
that speaks to Subway for you, is all that time you spent there and all those footlongs you narfed down, you
Yep.
still love your Subway.
Yeah.
Rusty, what do you have?
Yeah.
What's your favorite fast food restaurant?
So I'm
I
going
think I
with-
know. I think I know what you're going to say, especially now that you're in Arizona.
probably. I'm going In-N-Out Burger.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah. I think there's a couple of reasons why. When I think fast food, burgers always comes to mind.
Mhm.
There's a lot of them out there. Like we've talked about it. Burger King, obviously there's McDonald's, there's Five Guys. I mean, there's Culver's, there's tons of burger type of restaurants. But I think In-N-Out is the king, and a couple of reasons why. One, I love the simple menu. Like literally,
Yes.
you don't have to think about anything. You show up, you're getting either a single burger, a double burger, fries, or a shake. That's it, right?
That's true. I do like that.
I like having a simple menu. And the thing about it is, having a simple menu, they do all of it pretty dang good. I think it's one of the best burgers out there. They also have a hidden menu. So if you do get kind of sick of just
Yes.
the simple, you can order things animal style that comes with grilled onions and Thousand Island dressing and all sorts of cheese on it. So I think that's the biggest reason why I like it. It's simple and it's freaking delicious. Again, I think the biggest reason why I think it's only in certain locations is they only use like local ingredients. So they're not buying from like food chains and food suppliers that have to bring in stuff, thousands of miles away. They keep everything local, so it's fresh. That's what you get out of In-N-Out is you get fresh burger. It's fresh cut French fries. Like they're not anything special. It's not like McDonald's that are like really known for their fries, but they're still good and they're fresh. So I think that's the thing that you get with In-N-Out.
I might have to drive out there. Just take a trip.
In-N-Out is good. I'll give it to you. I'm not a huge fan of their fries.
I think they're all right. They're not my favorite French fries.
There's something about, and I think Red Robin does this. And maybe that's what I would compare In-N-Out to if I could answer your question, Jared. I'm going to call Red Robin. And there's something that In-N-Out does that I think Red Robin also does, and it's just like the way they wrap their burger. So the burger comes not like standing up, it's actually on its side, and it's like half bottom wrap, if you know what I mean. Like we'll have to throw up a picture here to show kind of like what an In-N-Out burger looks like, but for those who haven't had it. I don't know what it is about that presentation, but I freaking love it. Like, it's just like, it's sideways. You can see everything at it, staring right up at you. And it's just like saying, eat me.
And I do. I eat it.
And I do. I eat it. I eat it quick. All right, first, so let's hear it. So now we go from Subway to In-N-Out.
We go from Subway to In-N-Out, and we're actually going to stick on the simple menu side. But my go-to fast food, and I'm big into health. I like healthy food. I like natural food. I like, I'll maybe kind of give this away. No GMOs, no artificial flavors, no, preservatives. I freaking love Chipotle. Like, it's simple menu. It's quick. The line moves fast. Love their chips, by the way. Yeah. But I just love a good like steak bowl, a good chicken bowl. They've even have like vegan options, which are pretty good as well. Like Chipotle is my freaking favorite fast food restaurant of all time.
It's good. And you never leave hungry. Like you get
it's great portions. That's a great point. It's great portions.
For sure. Very, very popular.
And we have a Chipotle, 5 minutes from our house. And like, I always feel weird ordering it on my phone when I know it's going to be just as quick if I walk in and I'll be in and out just as quick. Because like you said, it's very simple. It's like you have made the ingredients, they wrap it up, you're out of there depending on how busy it is, in 5 minutes. Yeah. Maybe not even that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So it steals a little bit, right, from your Subway, Jared, and kind of the setup and how you walk through and have them make it in front of you, so that fresh piece. But then the simple menu from In-N-Out. But the other thing I like too is just like how socially responsible the company is. And I was reading like the latest headlines on them. They're actually taking their guac, which is amazing. Yes. They're taking the seeds or the pit from all the avocados they use. And they're actually using them to dye the shirts and the apparel that they're producing, their Chipotle shirts. So they're like upcycling is what they call them instead of recycling. They're upcycling all the pits to use to dye their shirts, which I thought was really cool. I'm actually shocked that it was not one of the commented restaurants of everything that got commented. No one mentioned Chipotle.
I'm very surprised about that because Chipotle is a extremely popular restaurant.
Yes.
You heard it here first, folks. Jarrett Finley is a fan of footlongs. Burr Finley, a fan of burritos or bowls the size of your face.
Yep.
I am a fan of immaculate burgers. So still love to hear what you guys have to say. I know not a lot of people commented, but if you have some choices, let us know. We'd love to hear from you.
How many different food sweats have you had in your life?
Oh, so many.
Like you just sweat every time you eat.
It's an experience when I eat. I just take it all in, and it's just my body just like this is something new that we're experiencing, and it just doesn't know what to do. So my heart races and I start sweating as I'm eating. It's very disgusting.
Well, speaking of that, if you guys want to see Jarrett sweat, we're gonna put out our attempt at breaking world records, and Jarrett is going to be sweating eating these Oreos. So stay tuned for that. Fur's going to try to put some poker chips on his head. I'm trying to insert some guitar picks, a lot of them.
You don't know. You don't want to hear where, but he's inserting guitar picks.
I said a guitar neck.
You're gonna say?
Oh, guitar neck.
I did.
You kind of trailed off.
I want it to be a surprise.
Yeah, you have to subscribe to our OnlyFans to see me put these guitar picks somewhere.
Well, thank you guys for listening. To Rusty's point, we are getting ready to break some world records after this. So if you have not subscribed to us on YouTube, check us out because we have a video coming up here where the three of us are going to attempt to break a couple 3 world records. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. What are we not on now? I think we got all our bases covered.
We're everywhere, man.
Patreon. We're not on Patreon.
MySpace.
MySpace, not on that. Yeah.
Is MySpace still alive?
Is it?
I think so.
No way. There's no way.
So. Yeah, that's
impressive.
We're not on we're not on eHarmony. I mean, that's another
Farmers
one.
Only.
FarmersOnly.com. You won't find Not Exactly Experts. So there's probably a few. Yeah, there's probably a few.
Tinder.
Yeah. Swipe right on Not Exactly Experts.
Oh, thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you next time. Not Exactly Experts signing out.